I'm Bhika and you're with us in the lab, empowering, inspiring and informing our viewers. Most of us can relate to being so busy that our days are filled with to-do lists, constant electronic stimulation and fast-paced tempos to get things done. The extent of our outside time is perhaps walking to and from the car or perhaps in the aisles of the supermarket. We've lost our connection with nature. In fact, we've totally forgotten how beautiful our world is and how much it has to offer. With me in studio today is Mashooda Patel, a mom of two, attorney, acting commissioner at CCMA and the founder of Hiking with a Purpose. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Jazakallah so much for being with us.
Jazakallah as well.
Sumaya Khan, she's a lecturer and a teacher. Thank you so much for joining us.
Jazakallah for inviting us.
Just for the viewers, this is a sibling team. So whoever says that 5 fingers are not the same, rethink that. Okay, Mashooda, why did you want to help females get reconnected? Was it something that happened in your life, or did you just see us as sitting with ourselves and just typing away?
No, actually not. Unfortunately, the thing is, we live in a world where we are moms, we are working women, but we don't get out in nature.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we don't do it with our families. So the idea was to assist and motivate and inspire women of all ages.
Right.
So from your 60-year-old golden girls to your little 5-year-olds, and we've got all of them coming along on these hikes to just get out into nature.
Definitely, that sounds awesome. So obviously you and your sister, you were the founder, but she has, so I'm going to just bounce off the two of you. That's just fine. to give the viewers more information. It was just a thought initially. How did you get to see it to fruition? Do you want to answer that, or Sumaya?
Okay, Zakira, in 2017, around August, climbed Kilimanjaro.
Wow.
So we did it with a group of about 30 of us.
Okay.
From the UK and South Africa with Muslim Hands.
All right.
And the idea was specifically born on that mountain. There is so many guides, so many porters, as well as the volunteers that are continually assisting us to summit. Okay. And one of the things that I had indicated was, when I come back, I want to live my life with a purpose. And the purpose behind it was to say, let us try and motivate these ladies, first of all, and secondly also try and assist people that are less fortunate. Because what we did was we joined Muslim Hands to raise funds for the children of Southern Africa.
Okay.
And so the idea was to say, let's try and see if we can also assist somebody in the community. Now specifically I'm from Rustenburg, so it's the community there.
All right.
And then we said, let's see if we can assist the less fortunate. And that is how this has come about.
Brilliant. That's so you're keeping fit, you're going down the right direction, and in the interim you're helping the less fortunate. Yes. Absolutely great plan. What is the trajectory of your vision? We're not going to go to long term. Let's stick with short term goals, Sumaya. What is your short term goals?
I think our short-term goals is, like Mashooda just mentioned, we look at inspiring the women to actually come out there, enjoy nature with us, and obviously admire what God has given us. You know? And I think we don't have that time to stop and stay. And that's basically our vision. We want to bring these women out there so that they can have the time away from their busy lives as well.
Okay, so is that just reconnecting? You want to encourage them to reconnect with nature, or is there a fitness aspect behind the whole thing?
I guess there is a bit of an fitness aspect for older ladies as well. They also don't have that time. They're also busy in their lives, so they tend to not even walk.
Yes.
That circulation is quite important.
Yes.
And I think a lot of us don't have that exposure to vitamin D, so, which is also quite important.
Sunlight, yes.
So sunlight as well, yeah. And then, yes, I think the last vision that we actually have is that we are assisting an individual within our environment, in our community, and see the benefits of that.
Which is so remarkable. Mashooda, what are the formalities regarding joining your team? Are there any formalities? Is it a long drawn out procedure that women are just going to ignore and not take it into consideration, or?
Okay, so we don't actually have a formality or any requirement.
All right.
I think the only requirement is you need to be a woman.
Okay.
Not to say we stop the men,
Right.
but I have a lot of ladies, specifically in the Rustenburg area, that are in Patel.
Right.
And unfortunately, our ladies in Patel, our ladies in hijab don't get out.
Okay.
So I think we need to look at that as well.
All right.
So it's the requirement is you're a lady. Whether you're 5 years old, as I said, any age, you're allowed to come along. We have a group, I have a group in Rustenburg, Sumaya has a group in Pretoria, and you can contact one of us, and you can join any hike that we have.
Okay, perfect. Sumaya, this is an interesting one. Many viewers haven't hiked before. Like I said in the introduction, the extent of their walking, or perhaps is from one side of the mall to another. And if you're at Menland, then I suppose you'll hire Uber to take you. But is there a required fitness level, health level, dietary requirements if you want to start hiking?
Okay, so well, we try not to force the woman in terms of fitness level.
All right.
Because they usually inquire from us what exactly the difficulty level of the hike is.
Okay.
We do accommodate for our stronger ability level ladies.
Okay.
And we also explain to them how long the hike is going to take, what is the elevation of the hike, and then we put it forth to them to say, would your body be able to take that?
Okay.
And then obviously we determine what their fitness level is looking at the moment, and whether they would manage it to come along with us. So I would say our hikes range between the easy and the difficult, and depending on your body strength,
you can accommodate.
You choose, yeah.
Okay.
Nadia Latif, registered physiotherapist, specializing in sports injuries, rehabilitation, orthopedics, musculoskeletal aches and pains, introducing shockwave therapy, also practicing hijama wet and dry cupping, advanced masters in life coaching as well as holistic health. House calls done in Laudium, Erasmia and surrounding areas, practicing at Bondev Park, corner of Viera and Willem Botha Avenue.
Okay, this is a nice question, and it's at the top of my mind. Obviously, now you're going out, and it's ladies only. The element of competition has to come in at some time or the other. Tell me about it regarding the branded sneakers, the garb, the caps, the sunglasses. Tell me about it, Mashooda.
Zakira, on my side, and that's in Rustenburg, I don't have that issue.
All right.
Our ladies are, as I said, they are willing to wear anything,
okay.
any type of clothes. There's actually no brands. The only thing I have is I have our young girls continually taking the selfies. So you have to continually advise them, especially when we're doing high summits in a sense. So we did a summit last month, and it was the highest summit in the northwest. And I had a lot of them sort of on the edge of the mountain. And you have to tell them, please, selfies on the edge of the mountain is, continually dangerous. Yeah, so I don't have that.
Okay, Sumaya, your turn.
Okay. I'm really not going to agree with Mashooda on that point. I think forming this group within the Laudium Pretoria area, we are facing challenges with competition quite a bit. It is about the brand sneakers, the brand caps, and and now we also reached a point where there's a lot of the ladies who would actually like the branded t-shirts of ours as well. But I think I always mention to the ladies that if we keep it simple, we're still going to benefit from it, But we also now reached a a point where ladies are in competition with who's more advanced than the other ones in terms of fitness.
Okay.
So we continually, when we start off the hike, we have a briefing for all the ladies to mention to them, you're not allowed to go ahead of the helpers, or you're not allowed to go ahead of me as the leader of the group. But we do find those ladies. I've ran marathons before, so that means I can go ahead of you. So in terms of competition, in that sense also, we do struggle a bit, but like I say, we have to mention that to them, that at the end of the day, we need to see the benefits.
Absolutely, and that's a valid point. I mean, besides the brands or that, or those kind of stuff, you're doing something to empower yourself, obviously.
Yes,
so
yes.
You need to, encourage them.
And I think they also notice it, because some of them come with those extreme brands, and they realize how dirty it gets.
Yes.
And, a hike is full of mud and dirt.
Absolutely.
And then I think they realize that.
You're losing the focus in that aspect. Mashooda, very important question. One of the greatest fears, and as a South African citizen, is crime and safety. How do you pacify? Obviously, you're taking women out there. How do you pacify? How do you go around this regarding safety and precautions for women alone?
Okay. Particularly the hikes that we do is in private farms.
Okay.
So we have that safety aspect in already. We go in sometimes with at least about 50 ladies.
All right.
So you're not going to actually come across criminals, first of all, in a private farm, and secondly, taking out 50 women.
Okay.
So we have that in place. Usually women are then comfortable with actually going to hike in that respect. I've indicated to the ladies itself that we won't hike if we're less than 5 ladies.
All right.
So I think they specifically stated safety by numbers.
Yes.
So that's important for us. Look, I know around the Cape area and stuff like that, there is issues when you come to Table Mountain and the like. But as I said, because we don't have that issue and we're hiking in a private farm, we don't have issues at all.
Okay, alhamdulillah, that's something. I mean, and obviously your spouse or the man in your house won't want to send you if you don't have that under wraps. So it's a good thing that you've taken into consideration all the hurdles as well. So Sumaya, say a family of 5 joining a hike. Okay, so now I know yours is female only, but a family of 5. Maybe with some other father and 3 kids, different ages, different physical abilities, different levels of fitness. How would you accommodate them for that hike?
Okay.
Or are you able to mediate a hike for a family of 5?
Yes, we are able to do that. We actually have certain friends that have joined us as helpers or volunteers to assist us on the hike.
Okay.
So we usually break the group into smaller groups, and then we have the helpers to assist at every stage. Okay. Currently, we had for the 2 hikes that we passed, we actually had a cancer patient along with us.
Oh wow!
And alhamdulillah, she managed very well. She did 8 kilometers with us.
That's exceptional.
And then we had kids down to 8 years old as well. So the helpers do it at the person's pace.
Okay, so once again, you've taken into consideration all the things that needed to be done.
I think just to also add on to that, Zakira, what we've done is we've divided it into levels. So we have a fast-paced group.
All right.
So anybody that is more able and more fit would join that group, and you give them the choice and the decision to make.
All right.
Then we have a slower paced group.
Okay.
And so usually that's your beginners and people that just want to enjoy beauty in a sense.
The nature.
So they would then get divided into that, and we split it up by say 5 to 10 minutes. And then we'd go off, but then we'd have for example, like in my group, they would be like your leader, and then you would have at least 4 assistants in the group, and then we've got the 3 assistants are somewhere between the ladies, and we have a sweeper. So that's like all the ladies that picks up the ladies as we go along, and then applies the same in respect of the second group as well.
Wow, so this seems very well thought out and very, very well organized. I'm actually in awe of the work that you've set out to do.
Nadia Latif, registered physiotherapist, specializing in sports injuries, rehabilitation, orthopedics, musculoskeletal aches and pains, introducing shockwave therapy, also practicing hijama wet and dry cupping, advanced masters in life coaching as well as holistic health. Households done in Laudium, Erasmia and surrounding areas, practicing at Bondez Park, corner of Vierde and Willem Botha Avenue.
Last words, final words, Sumaya, to the public. How do you keep women motivated, or how do you encourage them to start reconnecting with nature?
From my side, I think it's I started hiking with this, that it's more about your intention and about what you want to do in terms of your own body. Okay. So it's not just about conquering the mountain, but also about conquering within yourself.
Wow, well said. Mashooda, final words out to the ladies there.
Just a very famous quote. It says, of all the paths in life, make some of them dirt.
Wow. Great. And how would you keep them motivated to if they've joined your group, to stick with it, or for those that haven't hiked, to come and try it?
Yes, obviously, Zakira, just on that note, I've got a lady that's got fibromyalgia, and she's in her 60s.
Right.
And on every hike, this lady comes along.
Wow.
And without a doubt, even if she's the last person, she's like, Mashooda, I'm going to do this.
Mashooda.
So if that itself doesn't give an indication to people out there, come and join, I don't know what will.
Really great job. Thank you so much for coming on to the show. I'm sure this episode has brought out the little girl in you, and you're really deciding to reconnect once again. I end today with one of my favorite quotes. Love hurts, life hurts, but nature heals. Catch us next week on Laudium Today for another great episode. Assalamu alaikum.
You can watch our episodes on YouTube and subscribe to our profile. Also, stay in touch on Facebook, WhatsApp and Instagram, and we'll keep you up to speed with topics coming up next week. Don't miss an episode.